Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Renuka bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. India returns missing Chinese soldier who strayed across the LAC. UNCTAD reports that the value of global trade is set to fall by 7% to 9% in 2020 from the previous year in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. New Delhi and Dhaka to operate 28 flights per week under air bubble agreement. In US presidential elections, Joe Biden and Donald Trump to meet in final debate on Thursday. NASA spacecraft grabs sample of rocks from asteroid Bennu. India has returned the missing Chinese soldier today who strayed across the line of actual control in Ladakh. He was apprehended in eastern Ladakh by the Indian troops on 18th of October. The Indian Army, in a statement, had said earlier that as per established protocols, he will be returned back to Chinese officials after completion of formalities. Chinese Defense Ministry has confirmed that the PLA soldier has been returned to the Chinese border troops by the Indian Army. It said that the soldier went missing while helping local herdsmen find the lost yak near the China-India border on Sunday. The UN Conference on Trade and Development on Wednesday said that the value of global trade is set to fall by 7% to 9% in 2020 from the previous year. The report added that if the pandemic resurges in coming months, that could lead to a deteriorating environment for policymakers and sudden increase in trade restrictive policies. Meanwhile, China's export rebounded strongly in the third quarter after falling in the early months of the pandemic and have posted year-on-year growth rates of nearly 10%. An air bubble arrangement is now in place between India and Bangladesh to further widen international civil aviation operations. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep S. Puri said in a tweet that carriers of India and Bangladesh will operate 28 flights per week each between the two countries. He said the number of such air bubble arrangements with other countries have now reached 18. With barely 13 days left before the November 3 U.S. presidential elections, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are set to face each other in their second and final debate on Thursday night. The event will give President Trump an opportunity to change the trajectory of a race that Biden is leading in national polls. Stakes are high for both the sides. Former U.S. President Barack Obama is to make his first appearance on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania's biggest city, Philadelphia, on Wednesday for Democratic nominee Joe Biden. President Donald Trump on Tuesday campaigned in the crucial battleground state of Pennsylvania. Mr. Trump told his supporters that he needed a second term in the White House to ensure a successful recovery from novel coronavirus pandemic and its economic fallout. The U.S. Justice Department on Tuesday sued Google on harming competition in Internet search and search advertising. It said Google was putting its search tool over others whenever consumers browse the web. Charges are that the $1 trillion company was illegally using its market muscle to hobble rivals through distribution agreements and other restrictions. Google has termed the lawsuit as deeply flawed. It said the people use Google because they choose to, not because they are forced to or due to lack of alternatives. France said on Wednesday that it will ban an Islamist group named after the late Sheikh Yassin. The move is a part of a crackdown on militants following the murder of a French school teacher last week. Samuel Paty, a French school teacher, was beheaded on October 16 by an 18-year-old of Chechen origin. The reason he wanted to avenge use of caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad by Samuel Paty in a class on freedom of expression. The attacker was shot dead by police. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. India on Tuesday strongly reacted to the comments of UN High Commissioner for Human Rights on an issue relating to the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava has said, India is a democratic polity based on the rule of law and an independent judiciary. The framing of laws is obviously a sovereign prerogative. Violations of law, however, cannot be condoned under the pretext of human rights. He added that a more informed view of the matter was expected of a UN body. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, had expressed concern over the restrictions on foreign funding for the non-governmental organization in India. Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi on Wednesday spoke on phone with South Korean President Moon Jae-in. They took stock of important global developments, including the progress in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing diversification of international value chains. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs of India said the two leaders also reviewed the need to preserve a transparent, rules-based global trading order and the important role of WTO. The Indian Cabinet was apprised today of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU signed between India and Nigeria on cooperation in the exploration and uses of outer space for peaceful purposes. The MOU will provide impetus to explore newer research activities. It will give a fillip to application possibilities in the field of remote sensing of the Earth, satellite communication, satellite navigation, space science, and exploration of outer space. Now let's take a look at the coronavirus updates from around the world. According to WHO data, the number of infected cases has crossed 40.45 million worldwide. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres has today said that the wrong information can be deadly during the COVID-19 pandemic and urged all to help stop the spread of misinformation online.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, the wrong information can be deadly. Take the pledge to pause and help stop the spread of misinformation.
Meanwhile, in India, the Health Ministry said that COVID-19 cases on oxygen support in ICUs through ventilators and oxygen-supported beds have shown a significant decrease since the last week of September. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate reached close to 89%. The European Commission said on Wednesday that it had signed a contract on behalf of EU states with US drug maker Johnson & Johnson for the supply of 400 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccine candidate. The move follows an advance purchase agreement signed by Brussels with Johnson & Johnson earlier in October. A NASA spacecraft touched down on the surface of the Bennu asteroid on Tuesday. The minivan-sized Osiris-Rex Spacecraft, built by Lockheed Martin, plucked a sample of rocks dating back to the birth of our solar system from North Pole of Bennu. The spacecraft, launched in 2016 from Kennedy Space Center for the journey to Bennu, will arrive in Earth in 2023. Japan is the only other country to have already accomplished this achievement. Bennu, located over 100 million miles from Earth and whose cone-shaped body formed in the earlier days of our solar system, could hold clues to the origins of life on Earth. The European Union agriculture ministers agreed on Wednesday to set aside part of the bloc's massive farming policy budget for programs that protect the environment. As per the new Common Agriculture Policy, about a third of the EU's $1.30 trillion budget for 2021 to 27 to be split between direct payments to farmers and other support for rural development. 20% of the payment to farmers will be earmarked for green schemes such as organic farming or agroforestry. Farmers will not be able to access the cash for other purposes. The policy will kick in from 2023 and ministers agreed to a 2-year pilot phase for the green schemes. It would become binding from 2025. Bangladesh President M. Abdul Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina have greeted the Hindu community of the country on the occasion of Durga Puja. In Bangladesh, 5-day-long Durga Puja celebration will start from October 22 with the unveiling of the face of the deity, and it will conclude on October 26 with the immersion of the idols. Moving on to sports, in Indian Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Kolkata Knight Riders by 2 by chasing down the easy target of 84 runs in 13.3 overs with a loss of 2 wickets. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end this bulletin, let us listen to Vaishnava Jan by artists from Togo. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.